Junk silver's not. It's not. It's dimes, quarters, and half dollars minted prior to 65. But where I say it's the best value, if you can do anything at or near spot, which junk silver is, or maybe a little over, but not much, you're buying something that is the best value with no opportunity cost, with no added premium attached. And you put that in reference or measure it against where it's been in the past. During the pandemic, because of its utility and its divisibility, the premiums were second only to American Eagles. And the U.S. Mint has been the model of inefficiency for a long time. And I asked people to listen to Bixweir's interview with, what's Jack's last name? I forgot Jack's last name. It'll come to me in a moment. But Jack Sermon developed the Silver Eagle program at the U.S. Mint, and Bix did a 3-part interview with him a couple of years ago. I remember almost falling off my chair where he said he was approached by, at the time, his boss, which would have been the Secretary of Treasury, Janet Yellen, who told him to make as few Silver Eagles as possible without creating a global backlash. I mean, he actually said that the primary distributors came to him with far more demand than they could fill, like they wanted another 36 million and they gave him 12. And he said it really bothered him. So, there's a fine line between conspiracy and reality with the U.S. Mint. I would prefer Silver Eagles all day long, with the, many of these states looking at silver coins made in the U.S. as legal tender. But the premiums on Silver Eagles, on gold buffaloes, are crazy right now and moving in that direction again. The fact that junk silver hasn't followed it the way that it did during the pandemic is testament to the fact that things aren't breaking apart for everyone to notice. This is just those who follow the U.S. Mint and their lack of capacity. But if I were going to say what is normally, I would say bars. But due to the threats all along this year of tariffs, the bar industry, or the products that are associated with silver bars, they're coming largely from Switzerland, and with Pam Swiss and Valcambi and others, they weren't imported very much, and so the premiums are higher on them than I like. Maybe 1 ounce rounds, those come from domestic refiners here, would be the next best. Or maybe even there are some coins like the 2026 Silver Kangaroo that we have in stock, or some of the other coins that are not American Eagles but are of the other 6 major mints, the Krugerrands, the Britannias, the Philharmonics. They're right there. And because the bar market is inflated, I skip it. So it would either be junk silver, 1 ounce rounds, or coins from probably not even the Maple Leaf, which is getting inflated again. It would be South Africa, Australia, UK. To me, would probably be the 3 that would stick out as being a good value right now.
What impact does China restricting exports of silver mean for us and the LBMA?
Well, I think it means a lot for the LBMA. It because of this, and because the move to classify silver as a resource of national interest, that's China. And then you add the U.S. putting it on the critical mineral list, which means they too can curtail exports. The president can do it without congressional order. And then you look at the essential role of silver in solar panels, electric vehicles, semiconductors, defense, you name it. I think what it does is it shows that both countries are viewing silver as a strategic asset. It's not a commodity anymore. You're looking at a potential supply crisis and rising strategic value. What starts out as a trickle turns into much more than that. And, the people watching this show and listening to others in the industry who talk about this are way ahead of the curve and think, well, geez, everyone knows this. But walk outside your bubble and talk to anyone who's well-read, reading the wrong stuff, mind you, they won't have any idea about any of this. And so we're a ways away from that moment where it turns into a stampede. But it will curtail, I believe, supply. And in a market like silver that is so massively rehypothecated at the upper levels, meaning the same contract is sold over and over and over and over again, creating a real problem. Remember, the market cap of silver is the size of a pinhead, and you throw a bunch of money at it, and it doesn't just go up, it explodes higher. This is what they've been trying to hold back. And I think that the big money across the globe understands this. I think they understand that this is a rush to a quiet rush to accumulate the resources. And I think they know that that if they don't do this, they being all of the governments, and really work hard at protecting their own supply chains and their own strategic stockpiles, silver is a necessary element. It's necessary in moving energy. It's necessary in moving civilizations. As dramatic as that sounds, there is no element on the planet that conducts heat and electricity better than silver. People say copper. Copper's too slow. Copper's going up too. It's reclassified. But silver is a needed element. It is critical. And I think it will start to affect the supply chain. I think people take for granted for far too long how easy it is to get silver. I talk to people all around the world who have a next to impossible time of getting it all around the world. I get emails every day saying it's impossible to find silver, So it's been something we've taken for granted here in the U.S. I could see that rapidly changing if all of the governments start to say, hey, we better get into a protectionism type of mode and not sell this to the United States and to North America. Let's take care of our own first. And you could argue that's what the U.S. is doing right now.
People often ask me, what's the best value in silver right now? And my answer stays the same: junk silver, the pre-1965 dimes, quarters, and half dollars. There's nothing junky about them. They're historically reliable, highly liquid, and recognized everywhere. More importantly, they're still trading close to spot with no insane premiums. During the pandemic, junk silver premiums exploded because people wanted silver they could actually use or trade. This time around, those premiums haven't jumped yet, which tells me we're still early, and most people haven't realized what's happening behind the scenes. Speaking of behind the scenes, the US Mint has been a mess for years. Jack Surham, one of the minds behind the Silver Eagle program, said he was told by Treasury officials to keep production low, even when demand was huge. Distributors wanted 36 million Eagles, and the Mint only made 12 million. That's not inefficiency, that's controlled throttling. I'd choose Silver Eagles any day, but with premiums running 60 to 80% above spot, I can't recommend them right now. That's why junk silver stands out. It's real, divisible silver at a fair price. Normally, I'd also suggest bars, but premiums on Swiss bars have climbed thanks to tariffs and supply disruptions. So the next smart move is 1-ounce rounds from US refiners, or sovereign coins like Kangaroos, Britannias, Krugerrands, and Philharmonics, all still reasonably priced. Bottom line, junk silver is one of the best values left in the market before the crowd wakes up. If you found this useful, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more insights.